Hi, this is Ashley, and I am here to give you my thoughts on A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I am so excited to finally be able to talk to you about this and just have my hands on it. I love it. So I am going to go ahead and give you all my thoughts on this book. This will be completely spoiler free, but I will post another video in which I will get into all the nasty, amazing little spoilers. And the first thing I have to say is that this book jacket doesn't seem to like fit. It makes, it's weird. It's really big. I read it without the cover, but it's got a really pretty spine anyway. So A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas is a new adult fantasy. I should tell you right off the bat that this is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast that incorporates fae. It is very much more close to the original Beauty and the Beast telling, so the actual fairy tale that you can read by the French, I forget his name right now. It is more like the original French retelling than it is the Disney version. So if you are expecting the Disney version, it is not like that, but there are similarities obviously because it is based off of the same base story. And it is about a girl named Feyre. She has two sisters, Nesta and Elaine, and she lives with her father. They are poor, dirt poor. Her father used to be a merchant and things happened. He was a little bit hasty and he ended up losing all of their money. So they moved out from their wonderful place where they had servants and everything. And now they live in this cottage and her father got hurt. So he's barely even making any money. He's pretty much a deadbeat and he tries, but he's not really trying. And her sisters are very much, they want things. They want, and they're kind of nasty. And so Feyre pretty much has to hold the entire household on her back. And one day she goes out hunting and she wants to bring back food and she spots this great big deer and she's really excited. And there's also a wolf stalking the same deer and is much bigger than usual. And she goes and she kills it. And it turns out that that wolf was actually a fae, which she thought, and she wanted to kill it anyway because the faes have treated humans like crap for like 500 years. So it happens. She sold the pelt, and next thing she knows, there's a big giant beast storming into their house, attacking them, and the only way that Feyre can spare her family from being attacked by this beast is by agreeing to go with the beast and live with him across the wall in Prythian, which is the country for all of the fae, and humans are not allowed to cross that wall unless express permitted, and she is now forced to go live across the wall, never allowed to come back to her family, and this is all because she killed the wolf fae. And that's pretty much where the story picks up. I'm not going to tell you anymore. There are all these different characters. So obviously there's the Beast. The Beast is actually, his name is Tamlin. And his good friend, Lucian, who is a bit of a jerk, but he really comes to be a really good friend to Feyre. And there's a whole bunch of fae because she's living now with the fae. And there's this gruff lady fae named Alice who is really hilarious, but she's really a tough love kind of woman, and I really enjoyed her character. There is a character named Amarantha who is positively evil and delicious and wonderful, and then there's Rhysand, who is this character that appears about halfway through, and I just love Rhysand, and I will talk more about that in the spoiler video, but there are just so many good characters that I just instantly latched onto and I cared about them. And it's something that Sarah J. Maas does really well, and that doesn't change in this one. She learns very quickly that while some fae can be really nice, the high fae, they look like people, but then there are other fae that look like beasts, and there are fae that are evil and they are trying to trick her because her senses can't pick up on the fae tricks that they play. And it's just really interesting watching her explore this world and learn more about the Fae and figuring things out as she goes. Eventually we get to a point where Feyre and Tamlin, they start to actually like each other. It is Beauty and the Beast after all. And that romance was actually done really, really well. You fell in love with them each separately, and then being together was even better. There's a riddle in this one, but there's also all these different things that Feyre has to do, and the pacing is just really good because you're constantly moving and you're seeing her explore and learn, and there's always these obstacles that she's going through, and it's just really interesting, and I loved it. I could not put it down. I think I read the first 100 pages over the span of like 2 days because I was busy, and then I just read the last 300 pages pretty much all in one go. I loved it. So if you are interested in Beauty and the Beast, or you like fae stories, or you just want to try your hand at new adult fantasy, because there's not a whole lot and this definitely is, then I would go ahead and definitely check out A Court of Thorns and Roses. And why don't you guys let me know if you've read this book or if you are planning to read it, and leave your thoughts and comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. There's a riddle in this story, and I love when there are riddles in stories. It for some reason gets me really excited. So if you know any books that have riddles in them other than like The Hobbit, but like I love riddles in my stories.